Shalom. So we're gonna be looking at how to solve crime in Jamaica. Alright, this is not limited to only Jamaica, but I put it there for a reason. Right? Now, if you want to solve crime in Jamaica, how would you do it? Because coming with a stronger military force or constabulary force, you're adding more weapons. So you're not really solving it, right? What you're really doing is putting more power in your hands to kill, right? Now let's go to Deuteronomy 18 and verse 10. It says, "There shall not be found among you any one that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination," that is what we're going to look at, "or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer." Necromancer is also a key point, because when you look at this, it really goes into idolatry, right? Idol worshiping, and putting different spirits on a pedestal where the Most High should be. All right. So when you look at divination, right? Divination, you have two ways to look at it. One is the tarot cards, right? People that use cards or stones or whatever it is, right? For good or evil, right? This is one form of divination, those magical things that they do, right? There's another one that goes into what they call horoscopes, right? So this is where you use, just like you would read some Greek mythology or Chinese mythology or whatever mythology, where it says, "Oh, Orion was at war with this dragon," and all those things predicting future events. Those are that's another form of divination, right? This is why the Most High, when he was talking to Moses, he gave him a pattern of the things in heaven, and gave him also the functions, what they were to be used for. Because if you use the knowledge otherwise, you're going to go into evil, because good and evil, they're just the nature of wisdom. So the same constellations that Moses was using to know the beginning of the months, to know the seasons, to know everything. King Solomon had the same wisdom, our forefathers had it, right? But if you are wicked, you can use the same thing to predict future events. And as it says here in verse 11, are a necromancer, right? Just as in the movie Black Panther, where the guy went to visit the people in Africa, and he was speaking to his dead father. That's necromancer, right? And a lot of these people who do these type of things, they are communicating through spirits to get into the spirit realm, and that is like going through the window. You're entering the spirit realm like a thief, and there are consequences to that. All right. So you don't want to get into these types of divination, right? And this is why he says, let's go to Leviticus 19 and 31. Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 31. It says, "Regard not them that have familiar spirits, neither seek after wizards to be defiled by them," because this is what it does. These things carry an effect, because they are dealing with spirits, and what you're doing to yourself is you're attracting to you those spirits, right? This is why the Most High says we should not deal with them, right? You don't want to get into that and carry on to your household a whole different type of energy that you yourself cannot handle, right? So the Most High wanted these people to be put away, right? So let's go to 1 Samuel's chapter 28 and verse 3. So if you want to solve crime in a country, because people can get into the spirit world and summons demons, and they can inhabit other normal humans, right? To alter their thought process, making them do things that is really against their will, right? So it says here, now some um, now Samuel was dead, and all Israel had lamented him and buried him in Ramah, even in his own city. And Saul had put away those that had familiar spirits. So women are men who can summon these spirits. And again, this is going through the left hand side, right? These type of people, it says Saul had put away those that had familiar spirits and the wizards out of the land. So if you really want to solve crime, guess what? The first thing you have to do is to get rid of these people. And this is why it says, let's go to Exodus. Uh, Exodus 22 and verse 18, it says, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Because guess what? When you go into enchantments and sorcery and so forth, you're going into casting of spells. Casting of spells involves summoning demons, right? And these people have the power, they have the knowledge to do so. And guess what happens? They do it for money. So it's not about what is right or what is wrong, or what is just or what is unjust. It's about them getting paid. So they're not carrying out the will of the Most High. They are just doing it according to how they're being paid. This is why it says, thou shalt not suffer them to live. Right? This is talking about people who summons demons and things of that nature. Witch, wizard is the same thing. It's just gender related. Right? You'll refer to the man as the wizard, the woman as the witch. Right? So this type of divination, the Most High didn't want us to get mixed into. So going back to 1 Samuel chapter 28, it says, and Saul had put away those that had familiar spirits and the wizards out of the land. So guess what? You would not have so many things going on in the country, right? You wouldn't have so many people being possessed by different demons. You don't know what is happening to them, because these people can cast spells. What happens is, when a spell is being casted on a person, it shows up as normal sickness to other people. Like doctors, if you go to the hospitals, they're going to tell you that you have diabetes, you have a fever, you have a flu, you have coronavirus, you have cancer. This is how it shows up to them, but it's a spirit that is actually there feeding on your body until you're finished, right? They may cast a spell to mess with, for example, you are very educated, you're intelligent, they see where you have good potential, they will mess with your intelligence and have spirit there troubling you. You cannot sleep at night, you cannot sleep in your own home at night, because something is there, because they see where you can be very progressive, you can come out to be something very good, right? But when you go to the doctor, they're going to tell you that your sinus is draining. I mean, it's caused by your sinus problems, or because of this. They cannot detect it, right? So to put an end to all of these attacks, you have to go to the source, right? So when you put an end to the source, then everything is easier, right? The scale is balanced. Now, what happens with this now is there's a hypocrisy in it, because what you're going to realize is the same king that put away these people are the same ones that are dealing with these people secretly. So let me take out the word king and say something we're more familiar with: politicians. The same politicians who are saying that witchcraft is evil, or it should not be, or whatever they might say about it, right? What you will find is the same people that are going that are putting them away are the same people going to them secretly. You don't know. Now, jump down to verse 7. It says, then said Saul unto his servants, seek me a woman that hath a familiar spirit. Come on, dude, you just put away these people. Right? You just put away these people. So why are you seeking them out? Again, this is the hypocrisy. Right? Now look at what happens. It says, seek me a woman that hath a familiar spirit, that I may go to her and inquire of her. And his servant said to him, behold, there is a woman that hath a familiar spirit at Endor. So what happens? These people, they know everything. So when you think they don't know how to do things or to reach to you wherever, they have all this information. They have all the intel on it. Right? Verse 8, and Saul disguised himself and put on other raiment, and he went and 2 men with him, and they came to the woman by night, again in the middle of the night. That disguise, right? You don't dress as a king, so you don't dress as a politician, so they don't know that, oh, it's a top shot going over that house or that business place, right? It's the hypocrisy while this cycle keeps going on, right? So for us to solve these problems, we have to get rid of these people. So when it says suffer them not to live, it's talking about these types of divination, the ones that are casting spells, right? The ones that are using their magical things to give mental pictures, right? To give a revelation by their tarot cards or whatever energies that they are using to tap into the spirit realm, right? There's the thing about future events, because what it says, and bring, she says, and Saul disguised himself and put on other raiment, and he went and 2 men with him, and they came to the woman by night, and he said, I pray thee, divine unto me, right? Make future predictions unto me by the familiar spirit, by using the spirits that you know of, right? He's not saying by using the scriptures, he's not using the ephod from the priest, right? And bring me him up, whom I shall name unto thee. And the woman said unto him, behold, thou knowest what Saul hath done, how he hath cut off those that have familiar spirits, and the wizards out of the land. Wherefore then I layest thou a snare for my life to cause me to die. Right? So what you see happen is that he wanted to know about future events, and that's what the Most High didn't want us to get into. Whenever your time comes, it comes, right? You just want to live by his wisdom. Don't try to seek out these things that you're going to go off into different energies just to see future events and predictions. The Most High don't want us to do that. He just wants us to live each day and do according to his word, right? So here we have it. The first thing that we need to do in solving crime is to get rid of the people who are spellcasters, right? Shalom.